Amanda here from Create Your Future. So guys, I have an exciting video. I am answering subscribers' questions. These are the questions that you have commented under my video and the social media team has sent to me. So I'm going to answer a few of them in one video. Just before I do, guys, I am a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner, a hypnotherapist, as well as an EFT practitioner, emotional freedom technique. And I'm also a certified success life coach. Okay. So, and the majority of the coaches on my team are neuro-linguistic programming practitioners, hypnotherapists. Some of them have a background in psychology. We have had certified counselors on the team. We don't provide counseling and psychological services, but that's some of their backgrounds. And any of the coaches that aren't officially, have a degree in any of those areas, they have been taught by me how to do like LOA coaching, law of assumption coaching, and what to do on the coaching calls. So every coaching call you do here is just like doing one with me. They're going to do the exact same thing that I would do. Okay. And if you ever do have an experience where you're not totally satisfied, you can always email the survey that we send you and you can let us know. We'll definitely look into it. So, because I want each and every one of you guys to be successful, like 100%. So much so I've created a free course, how to identify your blocks to manifest anything fast. Now, it's really important to note that a block isn't this big bad thing, okay? A block is simply a thought that you have. Either your thought is in line with what you want or your thought's not in line with what you want. And we're actually going to talk about a mental diet on this video today because it's one of the subscribers' questions about techniques. So stay tuned for that. So it's a free course. It's going to help you identify, and build your mental diet, like what thoughts you want to be keeping. Like the quickest way to kind of like kickstart anything is to create a list of your intentions. And the best list of intentions that you can do are exact opposite of your negative thoughts. Okay. So what your circumstances or problems are standing in the way of what you want, those are your blocks, okay? And we're going to change them. And all you need to do to change them is just to change your thinking. When he doesn't want me or she doesn't want me comes up, and be like, no, they do want to be with me. They want to be in a relationship with me. Boom, block gone. And you're on your way, okay? So free course, link is in the description. As well, guys, I do right now have everything on sale. My course, How to Create the Relationship You Love. It's going to help you to create a custom mantra. Now, I use a custom mantra to move in with my specific person, Andrew, and it took me 5 days. On Sunday, he told me it was never going to happen. We were never going to move in together. And by Friday at lunch, he was like, I want to live with you. It totally changed his mind, okay? So that course is going to help you like fast track it, okay? Lots of success. People have emailed in tons of success saying they have gotten engaged, they've gotten back into contact. So it's a great relationship to help you change anybody that you want to change in your reality. Or if you want to look at it, changing yourself and the thoughts that you're putting out to change, the reflection you're getting back, as well as I've got to get rid of the third-party affirmation track. Now, this affirmation track doesn't focus on the third party. It focuses on you and your specific person and you guys being happy together, okay? And it's very interactive. I say the intentions and I have you repeat them with me because, I want you to be involved in this because this is, basically 10 minutes of you creating in your reality, okay? And as well as I've got how to manifest money or how to get your ex back affirmation tracks as well. I've gotten lots of success stories coming in. I'll post them in future videos, okay? Guys, okay, so let's dive into this without any further ado. Let's take a look. So the first one we have here is the question. Can you talk about if you don't like doing techniques anymore? Like you don't desire doing it? I only do it to keep a mental diet and I'm positive towards what I want. Like I don't think opposite. And if the thought comes up and it's negative, I say, nope, it's done. Okay. You know what? I love that. I don't do techniques either. The most I do for techniques is, I listen to myself and I listen to any like block that comes up or any thought. And I ask myself, do I want to create that? Okay. And if the answer is no, then I change it on the spot. Okay, so you don't have to do any techniques. Techniques are completely optional. The one non-negotiable thing is a mental diet. Like you don't have a choice. Your thoughts create your reality. Okay. So you have to stay on top of your thoughts, because your thoughts is your genie in the bottle. Okay. Your thoughts is what's directing everything in this reality. So no, you don't need to do any technique, except you need to do a mental diet. I wouldn't even call a mental diet a technique. I would call it a lifestyle. Like it literally really is. Okay. If you want to change anything in your reality that you have resistance to, okay, so I'm talking about something that, I'm not talking about the things that you can like think something once and it shows up. Like, the other day I wanted like, free vegetables. So I thought to myself, I thought to myself, pardon me, sorry. I want, someone to bring me free vegetables. And like the next day, my mom brought me cauliflower. Okay. I only thought of it once. Sorry here. Working, busy. Okay. I intend to be uninterrupted now. So, that one thing, I thought of it once and it showed up. Okay. Done deal. Okay. I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm talking about stuff that you sit here right now and go, I want to be with this person. Why aren't they here? Okay. If you've thought of it and it hasn't shown up, like, in a week, there's a good chance that you may have resistance or some kind of story as to why it hasn't shown up. Okay. You want something to show up. It's about facing whatever resistance or blocks that you may have. Now, I'm not talking about going and saying right now, oh, I have blocks, that's why it's not showing up. Like, don't create that story. What I'm saying is listen to yourself. Okay. Listen to when you think about your situation. How are you feeling? If you're thinking about your specific person and you're anxious, there's some thoughts that you need to really dig into. So what I always suggest, okay, and this is part of a mental diet, is going through all of your like negative thoughts, all of these circumstances that are preventing you from getting what you want in your mind. Okay. Writing all that down, what they've said to you, why it's not going to happen, why it hasn't happened yet, what you think they think, all the negative stuff, write it out and then change it one by one into positive. Okay. They don't want a relationship, change it. They do want a relationship. They have baggage, cross it out. They don't have baggage. They're ready to be in a relationship with me. They're over it, right? Everything, right? Oh, they're in a rebound relationship. No, they're over it. They want to be with me, right? And so you change all that and then you read that new list 3 times a day just to get it going. Because when you start changing your thinking from these regular thought patterns that you have, you are going to have this, like, it's going to be resistance. It's going to be like static in your head. It's going to hurt a little bit. It's okay. It's supposed to. Okay. You're changing your thoughts. Okay. Because what happens is when we have a thought pattern over and over and over again, we have one little thought and it basically fires off the whole chain. You're trying to break that. Okay. You're trying to break the habit of your thinking. So it's going to take a little bit of work. So you have to 100% do a mental diet. And it's more of a technique. Once you get in the flow of it all day and you're catching your thoughts and you're saying, do I really want to create that or I want to change it? You get into it and things are going to really start to manifest quickly in your reality. One thing I would tweak is when you have a negative thought come up, I mean, it's okay to say, nope, it's done. But I would also follow that up with stating what you want instead of that negative thought. Okay. So if it's like, well, you know what? I think they're busy with somebody else. Okay. No, it's done. They want to be with me. They are going to call me right away. Okay. So follow it up with what you want. And you can never go wrong with throwing a few extra positive thoughts on there. Okay. Super important. But no, you don't need to do techniques you don't, but if you want to, you can. If you enjoy scripting, like, don't get me wrong, you can definitely do techniques. But one thing I've been adamant about, and all of you guys know this that have been here for any length of time, is you can't just do scripting once a day, then think negative all day about your situation. You have to do a mental diet, right? You've got to keep on that, right? So I intend that helps everybody. Okay. So next question I have here is, let's see what we got. Sorry, I didn't pre-read them. I've got so many. So, okay, I've got one here. Okay, so also I have a second question. Okay, I'm going the wrong direction, obviously, so I don't know where your first question is, but let's just go with your second question. I have a second question, dear Amanda. Thank you. Let's say to affirm that I am married with my SP makes me much happier feeling than when I affirm I have a date every day with my SP. Okay. So, but I know the second affirmation is easier to manifest faster and I don't need to wait much. Which affirmation do you recommend? affirmations which are a bit far away but have a bigger pleasure to repeat in my head, or affirmations which is easier but I don't have much pleasure to repeat in my head or out loud. Let's say about married affirmations, I have 9 out of 10 pleasure. Okay. And when I affirm just about dating, I have 5 out of 10 pleasure. We know the feeling is key, but we also know that persistence is key as well. Okay, so this is where, I personally, I love this question, because I am a huge believer in basically, manifesting within steps. Now, the reason why I say manifest within steps is because, dating goes into marriage. Okay, so my answer for you right now, straight up front, is do both. Do both. Do both. Okay. You can never have enough. Okay. Just like last week. Okay. I'm married to Andrew. And just like, what was it, on Friday, he came home and he was like, I want to take my wife on a date. Okay. We still go on dates. We're married. Okay. But he wanted to take me out on a date night. Like, so dating, you're constantly, like, whether you're dating or married, you're together, right? So I don't see much of a difference. So if there is a pleasure in saying, okay, we're married, yes, you know what? Both of them go together. Keep doing both of them, right? You can do this however you want. So if you do want to go straight to the end and just say, look, we're married, well, eventually you're going to change your end, because my end used to be getting married, but now I'm married. So now it's like my 25-year wedding anniversary, right? Like, so where is your end is fine, but you do everything, write your story all the way through. Okay. So yeah, we're having dates. And when we're on these dates, we talk about getting married, like maybe start including it all, but definitely do both. If you want to just go to the end and married, okay, right now you're in a no talking situation, you go straight to the end of getting married. Well, if you're not talking, you need to revise why you're not talking. That's a big thing. Okay. So, sometimes, doing the steps, you'll automatically basically get rid of and eliminate any blocks and resistance that you currently have that you may not even know about. Okay. Like when I talk about my relationship with Andrew, we dated for 8 months. Okay. Not because, I wouldn't say because I had any blocks or resistance, but because even though I did create him with, everybody knows that he didn't, he had baggage because he was like previously married and he didn't want to get hurt again. And so he obviously did have blocks and resistance, but I saw that time of dating leading up to that as me getting to know him and applying him and manifesting him into the husband I wanted to be. Okay. That I wanted to have, that I wanted him to be. Okay. So like, as we were dating, if something was said that I didn't like, okay, I was like, no, Amanda, everyone's you pushed out. Okay, change your story. He's a caring person, blah, 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 blah. Like, I remember this one day we were dating, okay? And we went to this horse races. It's so funny. So we watched the horse races, but I only ever bet $2. I remember this one time, like, funny little story. So Andrew bet $2 on a horse for me. And this was our first real date. Well, basically second date. Anyway, so all of a sudden the horse that I bet $2 on basically ran around once. He was supposed to go 2 furlongs or something, but he went around once and then he went back into the paddock. And all of a sudden I stood up and yelled at the window, where are you going? I got $2. My goodness. So, and everyone's looking at me like, $2, lady, like, what the hell? Not even my $2. Anyway, no big deal, right? So one time another time we were actually at the horse races. And, at one point I noticed Andrew getting a bit snippy with me, right? And we were just dating at the time. And first of all, the first thing I thought was, oh my God, maybe he doesn't like me. Maybe he doesn't want to be with me, right? And then I was like, no, Amanda, pull yourself out of it. Of course he wants to be with you. You guys are here together, at the horse races. And I thought to myself, no, he's probably just hungry. He's getting cranky because he's hungry. Most people do. And then sure enough, you know what? Not more than 2 minutes later, Andrew said, I'm so sorry for getting snippy. He's like, I'm getting hungry. I need to find something to eat. And I was like, oh my God, okay. So you know what I mean? During that 8 months, as things would come up, I start to mold them. And then, at one point during that time, I was so annoyed at him getting snippy for being hungry that I was like, no, I intend that regardless of him being hungry or not, he stays in a good mood, right? And then we were going to this baseball game and we didn't have breakfast or anything. And I realized that. And Andrew's like, wow, you know what? He's like, I'm hungry. He's like, I didn't eat breakfast. And he goes, you know what's weird? I'm actually not crabby. even though I'm hungry. I was like, oh my goodness. So, see this time as dating and manifesting them and dating them as you're basically putting together your perfect partner, your perfect spouse, and how you want them to be, because your assumptions about them is going to shape them as you go. Okay. So that's, but again, you do both intentions. You could never do enough intentions. The only intentions that I would say are wrong are negative intentions. Okay. So if you were to say to me, look, I want to be married to this person, I'd say, okay, every intention that's in line with that leads into that, like dating, the moving in together, getting engaged, going on dates, meeting each other's family, meeting each other's friends, having picnics together, everything that's that's basically you two together, happy, leading to a marriage, I'm going to say is a good thought. Any thought that is not, so you saying, oh, well, they got blocks, they have baggage, and they don't want to be in a relationship, wrong thought, need to change that, okay? So that would be your gauge. So, invest in thoughts that make you feel good. Now, the feeling, okay, I know people say that. Your thoughts will create your feelings. Okay. So you notice you have a stronger pleasure in, going to the end of being married rather than dating. And that's totally fine. But remember that whatever you say, anything, your subconscious mind will create a picture of it and inject it into your reality. And that picture will automatically create a feeling within inside you. Okay. So you feeling it just by thinking about what you want, and you're in a neutral, not being anxious about it, you're going to shift it. You're going to get it. Right. So especially if you were to create a mantra, and then basically whenever you think of your SP beyond your mantra, boom, you know what, you're going to get there really quick. Like me manifesting marriage. Okay. Because guess what? After me and Andrew moved in together, he still didn't want to get married. Like, why? We already moved in together. Like, what's the difference at this point? Especially in the country I live in. After 2 years, you're considered common law married anyway. So I was like, okay, you know what? And he's a family lawyer, so he knows this. So I was like, you know what? He said he didn't want to get married. I was like, that's fine. So you know what I did? I just kept going. You know what? He's going to get married to me because it's like we're already married. We live together. It's like we already get married. We already married. No wonder. Yeah, of course he's going to marry me. Of course he's going to propose to me. It's like we're already married. We live together. That's what he thinks, And sure enough, that's what he said to me the day he went to ask me to go ring shopping because he wanted me to pick my own ring. He says, you know what? It's like we're already married anyway, so we might as well get married. And I was like, okay. But I didn't know where and when he was going to propose. That was a surprise. And it was very wonderful. I don't know if you guys haven't seen it. I did put the proposal on Jerry's Adventure, and I did edit out the half an hour of me crying. You're welcome. I don't know why I'm such a baby. I cried at my wedding too. I don't even know why. Anyway, so guys, it really up to you. You can't go wrong as long as your thoughts are in line with what you want. Okay. So I hope that this video really, really helps you guys. I'm going to do another video later today with Andrea. She's a new coach on the team. Definitely check it out. It should be up in the next week or two. And I'm going to do a live today. So I hope to see you guys all on the live, and post any questions that you may have. And I'm glad to see you all here. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.